Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
So have your throw pillow nearby. We are going to start on our backs in a constructive rest position, and I'm going to turn this off. So we're going to see if this is the cause of our interference with our sound. All right, so have your pillow nearby, but we'll come down onto your back. We're going to start in constructive rest. And then just before I just want to make sure that my sound comes through clearly. When we start with our big windshield wipers, we're going to take it into our headband rolls eventually as we start to build warmth in the body, which means we're going to roll across. We're going to keep our head connected to our mat. We'll roll so that the forehead can touch the floor and then come back. But sometimes when I roll like that, the sound cuts out. So just know when I'm saying that, if my sound does cut out, that's where we're going. All right, but to start, come down onto your back in a little bit of a constructive rest situation, or any restful position that makes the most sense to you. And then if you can, hands resting on the belly or one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, whatever hand hold might feel really nice and comfortable, but we're going to tune into the breath. So take a second to work out all those little wiggles, make sure your body feels comfortable on the floor. And then as you start to settle in, your body maybe gets a little softer and your breath comes in a little bit slower. Notice the movement of breath underneath your hands. So if your hands are on your abdomen, notice the movement of breath in your abdomen. If you've got one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, notice that little differentiation of movement in your chest space and movement in your abdomen. So just kind of notice that physical action of breath. Take one more moment here, just noticing the action of breath in your body. And then before we move away from this place of gentle stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, we're going to start by bringing the hands to the rib cage. So wherever your hands were, now see if you can find your rib cage. And we did this the other day, but just in case you weren't there for that, we're going to climb the ribs. So you're going to let your hands just rest comfortably on the ribs, and you're going to imagine that you're climbing your ribs up towards the top of your mat. So you're going to climb, ribs are going to move upward, or just this nice little one side lifts and then the other. Imagine that you're climbing your ribs up to the top edge of your mat. And even if that means you kind of crawl your shoulders up as well. So climb your ribs up just as far as you can. And then once you feel like you couldn't possibly climb your ribs any further, relax your spine, relax your ribs, relax your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your hands into cactus or goalpost arms, and then start to add a little turn of the head. So just turn your head side to side with as much range of motion as feels good. Once you've got that head turn going on and everything's feeling good, we're going to start with small little windshield wipers. So head is going to turn just as much as you like, but keep your windshield wipers small to start. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your butt feels. Maybe even notice how your hips feel. Awesome. One more little windshield wiper side to side, head turn side to side, and then bring everything back to center. Walk your feet just slightly closer. So maybe your feet are about hip width distance apart. And then we're going to take 3 drops of the right knee. So think as if you're trying to reach towards that half butterfly position. Just let the knee drop in and out about 3 times. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch over to the other leg. So left leg is going to drop in and out just a little bit. Doesn't need to be huge range of motion. And then once you've done about 3 on that side, walk your feet a little bit wider to your comfort level. And now take it into some bigger windshield wipers. So drop those knees as far side to side as feels good to you. And then once you feel like you've got some good big range of motion, now we're going to take it into those headband rolls. So we're going to keep our head connected to the floor as you roll over onto one side. So your knees are going to drop to the right. You're going to roll over onto your right shoulder. You're going to keep your head connected to the ground. Roll all the way over so your forehead touches the floor. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release, come back through center, and we switch over to the other side. So knees drop to the right. We roll onto the left shoulder, knees drop over to the left. We roll onto the left shoulder. We roll onto the forehead. Keep your head connected to the floor best you can. Roll back onto your back. And then you're going to take that a few times side to side, going at your pace. Take your time and focus on that connection point, keeping your head connected to the floor just as much as you can. If you're wearing glasses and you kept your glasses on, you might do that little lift up maneuver to get across your glasses. So take your time, be patient with yourself. Take one more time each side, or even yourself out. And then when you feel ready, come back to center. Pause just for a moment in constructive rest. Let the knees drop back in towards each other. Let your arms just find a nice restful position. Notice your back, notice your neck. Take a nice deep breath in. Awesome. And then when you're ready, walk your feet just a little bit closer. We're going to start with some alternating knee pulls. So right knee is going to pull into the chest and then the left. It doesn't need to be extreme, and we don't even need to do that big squeeze. So we just want to find a little bit of range of motion, waking up the glutes, waking up the backside of the body, putting a light bit of compression in the hip creases, but really we're just getting those front hip flexor muscles to kick on just a little bit to do this work of lifting the knee up. Sweet. And then the next time your right knee pulls into your chest, hang on to that knee, take that knee, draw it in a couple of gentle circles, circle in one direction. Circle the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch, pull the left knee into your chest, let the right leg go down, and then take that left knee, draw it in a couple of circles, circle in one direction. And then circle the other way. Wonderful. When you're ready, we're going to come back to that right knee. So set your left foot down, pull the right knee into your chest. This time, slide your left leg nice and long, go all the way down to the end of your mat. Hug your knee in for one light little squeeze, and then slide your left foot in so the left knee becomes that bent knee position. Set your right foot down, pull your left knee into your chest, hold onto your left knee, slide your right leg nice and long all the way down to the end of your mat. Once it hits the end of your mat, bend that knee, pull it back in, release your left knee, pull the right knee into your chest. Hold onto your right knee, slide your left leg all the way down to the end of your mat. Once it hits the edge of your mat, pull that left knee back in, release your hold on your right knee, pull the left knee into your chest, slide your right leg nice and long. Beautiful. Once it hits the end of your mat, release, pull it in, and we're going to switch one more time. Right knee into the chest, left leg is going to go nice and long. Once it hits the edge, pull that left knee in, release your right, switch to the other side. Left knee comes in, right leg goes long. Beautiful. Now pull the right knee into your chest. So both knees are going to come in, and now we're going to take those butterfly knees or butterfly circles. So we're going to circle the knees out and away from each other, up towards the ceiling, and then back into the chest. How much range of motion you work for here, just whatever feels good. Keep it soft, keep it light, keep it loose. Awesome. One more circle around, and then when you're ready, we're going to circle in the other direction. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your feet back down to the ground. Grab your pillow. We're going to take our pillow over to the right side. So we're going to tuck the right pillow up as close as you can to your side of your butt So the right side of your butt, and then you're going to step your left leg nice and long. So left leg is going to go to the end of your mat, and now right knee is going to drop open into a tree pose. So think supine tree pose, but with the back of the thigh supported. So we want that pillow wedged up against the thigh, wedged up against the side of the hip. So and then you'll make readjustments so that that supports your leg and your proportions. Once you've got your legs supported, both arms are going to reach up and overhead, and we're going to interlace the fingers, pointers up to the sky. So reach your arms up, get a little bit of length and reach. And then once you've got that length and reach through the upper part of your body, you're going to pay attention to your ribs. Notice if the front of your ribs feel like they're puffing up towards the ceiling. Can you pull the backs of your ribs down towards the ground, and then flex your left foot and push down into your left heel? Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Relax the interlace of your fingers, slide your left leg in, pick your right knee up. We're going to grab that throw pillow, pass it over to the other side. So you're going to tuck that pillow on the edge of your left side of your glute out to the left side of your hip. Once you've got your pillow in place, slide your right leg long, let your left knee drop out, and then you readjust your pillow so that it's supporting the thigh. Once you've got your legs arranged, reach your arms up and overhead, interlace the fingers, pointers reaching upward. Flex your right foot, push down into your right heel. Notice the front of your ribs. If your ribs puffed up again, can you pull the backs of your ribs down into the ground, and then take a nice full inhalation. Nice slow exhalation. Awesome. Unlace your fingers, relax your arms, slide your right leg in, pick your left knee up to meet, move your pillow out of the way. We're going to grab the backs of the thighs, and we're going to start to rock and roll. So we're going to take a couple of good rocks and rolls, work the length of your spine, take your time with this. And then when you feel like you want to catch a little momentum, come up into a nice little seated ragdoll. So legs are going to come out in front of you, super generous bend of the knees, and maybe walk your feet just slightly wider so you make a little space for the belly and the chest. And then fold yourself over, catch hold of your toes, take 3 nice deep breaths here. Wonderful. When you're ready, slowly and gently walk yourself out of that ragdoll fold. We're going to spin it around into a tabletop position. But if you can, just grab your pillow, make sure it's kind of nearby so you'll have easy access to it. As you come up into your tabletop position, first, we're just going to bring knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. Once you found your way there, we're going to take micro rocks forward and back. We're just going to feel the knees connected to the floor. Feel that little bit of gentle movement in your wrists. Notice your hands, notice your fingers. And then the next time you tip forward slightly, now we're going to take our table and draw it in a couple of circles. So circle in one direction. Circle the other way. As you come back to center, curl both sets of toes under, and now take it into a bigger rock forward and back. Pull your butt back toward your heels, and then bring your shoulders slightly past your wrists. Nice. One more rock forward and back. And then we're going to release the toes, grab your throw pillow, walk your knees a little bit closer. We're going to wedge the pillow behind the knees. So if you can get that pillow just kind of tucked behind your knees. And then once you're there, pull your butt back towards your heels, readjust your pillow as needed. So it should feel cushioned underneath your butt. It's creating a little space between the thighs and the calves. So if it needs to be repositioned, take a second to do it. But then once you've got it in a good enough place and you can settle your butt back nice and heavy, walk your hands forward just a little bit more so you can soften your chest down, soften your forehead down, and take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly lift up. Right hand is going to grab the pillow. We're going to pick the pillow up, move the pillow out in front, and we're going to go a single arm puppy pose. So right hand is going to rest on the pillow, but if you can, you're going to arrange it so left hand can turn in so the fingers are pointing towards the right side of the mat, and we're going to see if we can rest our forehead on our left forearm. So turn your left hand in, right hand on top of the pillow, soften your chest and your forehead down. Take 3 nice big breaths. Engage your abdominal muscles like you're pulling your ribs back towards the ceiling, and then gently lift your head away from your forearm. Come back up. Left hand's going to grab the pillow, shift it over to the other side, and now we're going to readjust so that we can take it over the other side. Right fingers are going to turn over to the left. Forearm down on the ground, left hand on the pillow, soften your forehead down, come back to that half puppy pose, and then take 3 nice deep breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, come up nice and slow. Lift your head, pull your ribs back, lift up. We're going to scooch the pillow just a little bit. So when you land on your belly, it's going to be placed underneath your solar plexus. So move your pillow just so, and then step your feet back. We're going to come into a plank position. We're going to pause in that plank position just for a moment. So we find some strength in our center, strength in the back of the body. And then once you feel like you've found quite enough strength and you feel ready to do so, gently bring your knees down. Gently lower your hips down. We want that pillow so that it's underneath the solar plexus. So find that placement, and we're going to move into a Sphinx position. So elbows and forearms on the ground, elbows in line with the shoulders. Pull the elbows back energetically like you're trying to pull your elbows towards your ribs. Lift your heart forward. Press up through the crown of your head. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, soften that back bend just a little. We're going to push into the knees. So curl your toes under, push into your elbows and forearms, pick your body up just a little bit, and then scooch that pillow down. So now it's going to be underneath the hip bones. So we want it underneath the front hip points. Take a second to make sure everything feels good. And then once you feel like you've got the pillow in a good place, step your feet slightly wider, walk your elbows wide, come all the way down, let your forehead rest on your stacked hands. Take 3 breaths here. When you feel ready, slowly start to lift your forehead away from your hands. Walk yourself up into tabletop, nice and slow and controlled. Take your time as you come up into that tabletop. Move your pillow out of the way and then move right into some cat cows once you've got your tabletop rearranged. Inhale as you drop your belly. Exhale as you round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the back. Inhale to a neutral spine, curl your toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels, hang out here for an extra cycle of breath. Keep your toes curled under, lift up to table, but we're going to think about peeling the butt up nice and slow and keep a slight bend in the knees. So as you peel your butt up, keep your knees significantly bent, push into your arms so your weight's a little bit more back towards your feet, but with your knees super bent. Take a nice full breath. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice soft ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart at the top of your mat. If it feels comfortable to do so, grab your elbows, let your head hang down, notice the backs of your legs. So if you're feeling a lot of tension in your hamstring muscles, take a second to bend your knees just a little bit more. Take a nice full inhalation. Get a little heavier on your exhalation. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to take a light bit of rocking side to side. So still holding on to the elbows, still letting the spine be as heavy as you can, bending one knee and then the other, and allowing a little gentle sway to come into the spine. Nice. One more little sway side to side. And then as you come back through center, relax your hands down towards the ground, bend your knees even more, pull your abdominal muscles in. Take your time, roll your way up to standing nice and slow and controlled. Once you hit the top, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Take about 3 rolls backwards. And then take about 3 rolls forward. And then once you've done that last roll forward, we're going to climb the ribs. So if it helps you find it, hands on the ribs, but we're just going to climb the ribs like you're trying to walk your rib cage up your spine. You're going to maybe feel your abdominal muscles. You might feel the back body muscles, but just try to lift your ribs like you're walking upward. And then once you feel like you couldn't possibly walk any higher with your ribs, roll the right shoulder, roll the left shoulder, relax into your spine and let your palms face forward. Gaze forward, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Now we're going to go inhale, arms up, heels up. So as you inhale, arms are going to lift, heels are going to lift. As you exhale, hands come to heart center, heels lower, everything comes down at the same time. Inhale, arms up, heels lift. Exhale, hands down, heels lower. One more like that. Inhale, arms up, heels lift. Exhale, arms down, heels lower. Beautiful. Now we're going to go just a little further. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back to a low lunge. So we're going to step the foot back as far as we can, bring the knee down, and then we're going to go front knee going past the toe. So you'll readjust that back knee so you can let the front knee go past your toe. Once you've got that front knee past your toe, as much as it feels comfortable to your knee, lift your heart, lift your gaze, take a nice full breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to step that front leg back to downward facing dog. So plant your palms, slide that front leg back, take your down dog. We're going to shift forward into a plank. Once you've hit that plank position right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here as high as you like. Inhale as you lift your heart up. Exhale as you lower down, push your way up to a tabletop position, curl the toes under. Exhale, back up to down dog. Pause at that down dog. Take a breath. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. We're going to come back to that inhale with the arms up and the heels up. So as you inhale, arms are going to lift, heels are going to lift. Exhale, float your heels down, float your arms down. Inhale, arms up, heels lift. Exhale, heels down, arms down as well. One more time through. Inhale, arms up, heels lift. Exhale, heels down, arms come down. Keep your heels down on the ground. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg is going to step back to that low lunge. So we're going to step that foot back as far as we can, bring the knee down, and then we'll readjust so that front knee can come past the toe just as much as feels good. Once you've got that arranged, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to step it back to down dog. Pick up that back knee, slide that front leg back. Once you found your down dog, take one breath. When you're ready, bring it forward into your plank position, and then right away, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. We're going to reverse the breath here. So this time, instead of inhaling as we lift up into cobra, we're going to exhale as we lift up. So pause just for a moment, notice your breath pattern. And then on your next exhale, lift up into cobra just as high as you like. Inhale to lower down. Beautiful. Push your way up to tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Pause in your down dog. Take a breath. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands are going to come to heart center, and we're going to come into a tree position from here. So start by just putting a little gentle pressure between your palms. Transfer your weight onto one foot. Start by just externally rotating the thigh, maybe keep the toe on the ground to see how your balance feels here. If that feels awesome, slide your foot up to the calf, take one cycle of breath, one big inhale, one slow exhale. Interlace the fingers, pointers up, reach your arms up and overhead, take one more breath. Awesome. Float your hands down, step your foot down, transfer your weight onto your right foot, turn your left knee out, keep the toe on the ground to start, notice how you feel. If that feels good, slide the foot up to the calf, take one cycle of breath. And then if it feels good to do so, interlace the fingers, pointers up, lift your arms up and overhead. Beautiful. Float your hands down, float your foot down, find your mountain pose again. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position. We're going to take one breath in puppy pose. So once your hips come in line with your knees, walk your hands forward. So both hands forward, arms nice and wide. Let your chest drop down. Take a nice full inhalation. Slow exhalation. Walk yourself up nice and slow back into that tabletop position. But now we're just going to spin the legs out to one side, sit back onto your butt, swing your legs out in front of you, grab your pillow. We're going to tuck the pillow underneath our knees so we create a nice bent knee position, and then extend your legs as long as you can with a little bit of energy in the feet. So think about keeping the feet slightly flexed, a little bit active. Take a nice big breath. Reach your arms up. We're going to pull those ribs up like you're pulling on a rope. Climb your ribs up as high as you can up towards the ceiling. And once you feel like you couldn't climb your ribs any higher, lift upward through the heart, fold yourself forward, reach towards your toes. Does not matter if you can touch your toes. Take one more breath. And then slowly, mindfully walk yourself back up and out of that fold. We're going to keep that pillow underneath our knees. Scoot your butt forward. As you come down onto the ground, we're going to keep that pillow tight up against the backs of the knees. And then once you're all the way down onto the ground, lift your hips up, slide that pillow underneath your butt. Once it's underneath your butt, settle your hips down, pause in that little bit of a supported bridge position. Let your arms come out of your sides. Take 3 nice big breaths. Awesome. When you're ready, pull your right knee in towards your chest. Left leg is going to slide nice and long. So we're compressing that right front hip flexor area and stretching through the left front hip flexor area. So notice that little opposition. Take a breath. Notice the right side might feel a little compressed with the breath, whereas the left side might feel free. And then if it feels good for that last cycle of breath, you're going to take your left hand, reach it all the way up and overhead alongside your ear. Take one more cycle of breath. Beautiful. And then release your left arm, slide your left leg in, release your handhold from your right leg, and we're going to switch to the other side. Pull the left knee into your chest, slide your right leg long. A little bit of action in that right foot so we keep that right leg slightly engaged. Compressing the left front pocket area, now stretching through the right front pocket area. Once you feel like things are feeling good, right hand's going to reach up alongside your ear and take one more cycle of breath. Awesome. This time we're going to release the left leg nice and long. So both legs are going to go to the end of the mat. Both arms are going to extend up and overhead. So we're going to flex the feet, push through the heels, reach through the fingertips. Take one more big breath here. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly release your arms, slide your feet in, push into your feet, lift your butt up, move your pillow out from underneath your butt. And then once your hips are all the way down to the ground, we're going to move right into supine twist. So right knee is going to pull into the chest. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Take that right knee over and across the body. Let your left arm open out nice and wide. Once you've got a depth of twist that feels good to you, come back to your awareness of breath. Notice your inhalation. Notice your exhalation. One more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest, left knee comes into meet. Hold onto your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long, switching your supine twist to the other side. Take that left knee over and across the body. Once you've got your depth of work that feels good to you, come back to your breath. Nice, generous inhale. Super slow exhale. Wonderful. When you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, right knee comes into meet. Give it one little squeeze, and then we're going to release the feet down, but we're going to go feet together, knees together, toes together. So we're going to get that nice narrow position. Once your feet touch down to the ground, you got your feet together, knees together, inner thighs together. You're going to push your knees in towards each other and hold that push. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that, toe heel your feet so they're about hip width distance apart. One hip bridge here with an exhale. As you exhale, lift your hips up just as high as you like. Inhale as you lower back down, and then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come back to constructive rest? Let the knees drop in towards each other. Perhaps it would feel good to walk your legs long. And if you have your pillow handy, you might like to tuck it under your head or tuck it under your knees or any other position that might feel good. And especially if you're in a colder space, make sure that you stay nice and cozy and tucked in. So if you have a blanket or you have your sweater, take a second to get yourself comfortable. And then before you come completely into that restful position, we're going to tune back into the ribs. So you're going to just imagine that you're walking your ribs up towards the front end of your mat. You're going to let your ribs walk. You're going to let your shoulders walk. And then once you feel like you couldn't possibly walk your ribs any higher, soften your shoulders down, relax your spine, and then see if you can just invite some softness into the rest of your body. Soften your abdominal muscles, soften your arms. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, start to invite just a little bit of gentle movement into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If your legs are in constructive rest or in any bent knee position, see if you can walk your feet nice and long, but instead of them being wide, think of hip width distance apart. So walk your feet down towards the end of your mat. And then we're just going to take a couple little points and flex of the feet. So you're going to let your heels be connected to the ground. As you point and flex your feet, it's going to maybe invite a little bit of rocking through the whole entire body. So heels connected to the floor, a little point and flex, allow your body to just move gently with that rocking sensation. If at any point something doesn't feel good, you're going to leave it all off. But if it feels okay to be here, take about 2 or 3 more points and flex of the feet. And then when you're ready, take it into a bigger good morning stretch. Point through your toes, stretch your arms up and overhead, create a little length through your body. Take a nice full breath in. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. If you like, you can take your pillow and sit on it like a little cushion. So that can be a nice way to come up into that taller seat. So take a second to find your comfortable seat. And then once you're there, just for a moment, close your eyes down, soften your shoulders, relax your jaw. Notice where your mind is at. Notice how your body feels. Bring your palms together, fire up your palms. We're going to get them nice and good and hot. And then once your hands are nice and good and hot, we're going to cup them around the feet or the ankles. So wherever you have a good handhold, you're going to release your hands touching the feet or the ankles. Close your eyes, take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. And bring your hands back together, fire up your palms, get them nice and good and hot. Once your hands are nice and good and hot, we're going to place them around the knees. So wherever you can get a handhold of your knees, close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Bring your hands back together, fire up your palms, get them nice and super hot. Once your hands are nice and super hot, we're going to cup them around the hips. So any place where you can place your hands on your hip bones, take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Before we release the hands from the hips, push gently down into the hip points, lifting just a little taller through your spine. And then keep that tallness of the spine. Release your hands from your hip points. Bring your hands back together. Fire up your palms. Get them nice and good and hot. Once your hands are nice and good and hot, it's going to be one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Close your eyes down. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. When you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday.